Today on Play to Win, the Falcons offense continues to struggle. Is there an easy fix? Also, will Auburn leave the swamp today with a win and make their case as a playoff contender? Plus, we talk dogs, jackets, and more on the fastest 30 minutes in television. Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by your Atlanta Nissan dealers, Moe's Southwest Grill, and the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Welcome to Football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, player medical and injury reports with Dr. Sadiq Al-Amin, Falcons All-Pro wide receiver Terrence Mathis, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's hometown team report is being brought to you by Montlick & Associates. Our attorneys know what it takes to win.
Okay, guys, I'm Chris Marler. Sadly, Nikki Williams is out. She's on vacation, but it's good here to be with you guys.
It's good to have you here, Chris.
Welcome
Appreciate
aboard.
that. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Let's just get right to it. We have Chuck Smith.
That's me.
Terrence Mathis. We got Bob Whitfield, and we have Jeff the Edge Schechter. Let's get right into it here. So earlier this week, Dan Quinn was asked about the Falcons continuing to struggle and how they can play with more consistency. This is what Coach Quinn had to say.
There's a lot of people with the talent, and so how do you make sure that the execution and the production is always matching that talent? Because that's when you have special teams and special stuff to do. When you're inconsistent, that's kind of what your performance will look like. So we're really going to challenge one another to see where we can get to, Zach, because this team cares, they're upset, they're pissed just like everybody. But what do you do then? You got to take action, and you got to fix those issues that come up. And that, what you had said, the consistency word, it's not a sexy word, but it's one that takes time to prove it over and over and over again. So as we head into this, this week, that's a big topic that we're hitting on, our consistency.
Guys, consistency is not a sexy word. It's better than brotherhood. I would say that. I'll throw that out there right now. What are y'all's thoughts?
Same thing. He said the same thing they've been saying. At the end of the day, the players are responsible, the coach is responsible. I'm really tired of hearing about it. I want to see them show action. I picked this team to get to the Super Bowl. I should be having a bag on my head today.
I mean, how can you have any consistency when you have different coordinators every other year? And you talk about the offense struggling. Of course they're going to struggle. Dirk Cutter, his thing is he's going to struggle because he has all these toys to play with, and he don't know which one to play with better.
A lot of talk.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of talk. Very soft team. The defense.
Well, I think I wouldn't use the C word for this one. I want more resilient, a more resilient team. It's really what you see when basically you're only down 21-7, even though you spotted them the points early. It's only 21-7 or 21-3, whenever it was. And it's almost like, you're the high-flying Falcons. This is the team that basically got Matt Ryan, got Julio Jones, got enough offense that you can come back from that little score.
Well, I mean, and don't look at me because I had to turn it off. I don't know what the score was at that point. I was so upset. And resilience is a good word, but results, I feel like, is a better word. So what's it going to take to ignite the Falcons offense?
I think it's going to take some creativity on play calling. Last week was unbelievable, and there were some calls that were made that were unbelievable. Let me give you one description, Bob. On 4th and 1, on that first play when they ran the ball, right? They ran a counter. The guard pulled, and you got the big old defensive lineman jetting upfield, so they get knocked in the backfield. To me, that was a terrible call.
Yeah.
Terrible call.
But the age of the fullback is gone for this team.
Yeah, that's true.
What was that good fullback they had? Now you don't see a fullback that's really hitting it up in, and you don't see that little oomph with the running game that you really want to see. You see some dancing. You see some. I like hard-hitting Devontae Freeman when he can come down.
Tevin Coleman.
Still to come, are there any potential problems? Your team,
Yep.
the Vols, can cause
Vols.
UGA tonight in Knoxville. But next, we look at the matchup in the Swamp and discuss if the winner today immediately becomes a national contender. That and more on Football's Play to Win.
On or off the field, we all have rules to play by. But what happens after a serious car crash? When the insurance company won't play fair? At Montlick & Associates, we know injury law, and we know what it takes to win. After all, we've been winning in our field for over 35 years. If you've been injured, we're here to help. Simply dial #WIN from your cell phone for your free consultation. That's #946.
3 words: liquid white gold. Dive into our queso today.
With the all-new Silverado HD, Silverado's now the only truck brand that can offer trucks with best-in-class towing, or trucks with best-in-class camera technology, or larger, more functional beds than any competitor. The only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado. Or get a total value of over $9,300 on this Silverado with a larger, more functional bed than any competitor. Or during truck month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
Georgia drives Chevy. Find new roads.
Queso makes everything better. Even steak. Dive into our new steak and queso today.
Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by your Atlanta Nissan dealers.
Welcome back, guys. Let's get into some college football this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That's more my expertise.
Okay.
I use that term very loosely as well. Let's check out the ACC, which this may shock you. We'll check out SEC in a second. But the ACC schedule, not great, Bob. Not great. Chuck, I know you had
Some good matchups. Was that
Where?
North Carolina gave Clemson a roll, and so Georgia Tech got a tough
Only
one.
unless you love them schools.
Virginia Tech, Miami, both 2-2.
That was a good game in 2002. I agree with that.
But that's a
Virginia
Georgia
Tech
Tech.
is horrible.
That's
Duke and Pittsburgh could be interesting.
Here's what you do for the ACC games. Siri, who won Georgia Tech, North Carolina?
that's fair. That's fair.
Siri, who won the Georgia Tech game?
Yeah, I mean, during the schedule has been.
You asked Siri for them games. You weren't watching. What's the score, Siri?
That's fair. That's a fair point. Yeah, strength of schedule has been a big deal for the ACC. Let's get the SEC. I know this is more your speed. This is more my speed as well. Let's see the matchup there. There's some big matchups. Well, there's one big matchup.
Yeah.
Auburn, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the game
Look,
of the week.
Auburn got a special team. Bo Nix and this defense, they got the #1 defense right now in college football. Going to be a great game. And I'm going to tell you the other game. Everybody, you need to keep an eye on this. You don't need to go to Siri to find out this one. Can the Vols pull an upset over the
Yeah, it's coming.
Listen,
I'm a
I'll
Vol for
spoiler
life.
alert. It's a no. It's going to be a no. No offense. No offense.
I'm giving them a close
I
matchup
just
this
want
week.
to see them compete. I just want to see them. Just don't embarrass the family, y'all.
As long
That's
as
fair.
look,
They can't.
you should send them a speech.
Not enough offense. Tennessee don't have enough
Not
offense.
enough
Also,
anything.
just so we're clear, too, Missouri actually has the #1 defense in the SEC right now.
Okay, well,
Fun fact.
my
Fun
bad.
fact
My
for you guys. I
bad.
got you.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the college football showdown.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing.
All right, this is the first top 10 matchup of the SEC for the 2019 season. I'm excited. It's going to be a great defensive matchup, I think, in the Swamp. What are y'all's thoughts?
Chuck, who's suspect on this one, buddy? You was talking that mess off camera.
The
That
Gators?
Florida Gators is suspect.
Yeah, the Gators are suspect to me. I watched them against Tennessee. The score wasn't indicative to me of the game. I mean, I'm just saying Tennessee made some bad errors. Florida took care in the end, but there were some little points in there that I saw. Florida, they ain't quite ready for Auburn, bro.
Okay, so that score was not that close. I will say that, but
But did you see the little details?
Yeah,
the little
yeah.
details. Maybe I saw that through a Tennessee ball eye, but this is all about Florida and Auburn. So, but
we'll break it down. We'll break it down.
Suspect to me.
I don't trust Florida. I really don't trust Florida. Yeah, they having a good year whatsoever, but Auburn writes their own ticket if they win out. They got the toughest schedule for the remainder of the SEC schedule.
Ain't
They
gonna
play
happen.
all of the other 4 teams that are in the top 10. So
Bama gonna knock 'em out.
Head coach of Florida called out his O-line. So that's going to get those big guys in the trenches fired up. He called them out in the media.
You talk about a team that gave up 3 sacks to Towson last week. Towson, I don't even know where that's at. It could be Maryland, it could be Delaware.
That is
Yeah.
Maryland.
Okay, so now I know where it's at. But how many sacks is that offensive line going to give it to a team like Auburn? Both coaches weighed in on the matchup this week. Here's what Coach Malzahn and Coach Mullen had to say.
You look at them defensively, really what stands out to me is how aggressive they are. They can really run. 24 sacks, I think it's second in the country. 13 turnovers, I believe that's second in the country. So very, very good defense. Offensively, a typical Dan Mullen offense. Run the ball effectively. Their quarterback has one of the best completion percentages in all of college football.
They probably got 3 guys that could have been high draft picks last year that came back, and it shows a lot about their program and where they're at. We had guys leave. They have guys that came back that probably would have been drafted ahead of where our guys got drafted that left early. So they have some talent, especially up front on the defensive front.
Jeff, let's get right down to it. Make us some money. What do you think this week?
I'm going to try. Malzahn comes into the season on the hot seat. He's got to compete against Alabama for players. He's a great coach. They should give him a lifetime contract. The defense will be too much for Florida. Give the 3 with Auburn.
Okay, all right. Well, there you have it. As a Bama fan, I hope he does. I hope he gets a lifetime contract. I'll say that. When we return, it is time for the Dog Report. Find out what fans should be watching for as UGA looks to continue their winning ways against Tennessee. And later, we take a look at the newest Falcon acquisition as we continue on football's Play to Win.
Oh, I'm glad you found it.
Oh, we were just happy to get some time away.
You're the first couple to try our new bed and breakfast bundle. It's bed and breakfast in the same room. You wake up to the smell of coffee and bacon, made by a private chef, right there.
So we're sleeping in the kitchen.
Well, I'm sure you'll write it better than that for the review.
Stuck in a bad bundle? Get a great one. Bundle AT&T Fiber and DirecTV and get a $100 reward card. Limited availability may not be in your area. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
Own the tailgate with the new Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box. Only Bojangles brings the flavor to every dog's tailgate with chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea. Dogs dig the new Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box. Bojangles. It's bow time, y'all.
This is it. Hi, Sleepyhead.
Man on campus, just dropping by for a little weekend hang time.
Smaller than I thought.
Do I know you guys?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know the people who sent you to college?
How's the GPA? 4.0.
Nobody's perfect. Janet, what are you doing?
Sorry, so disorganized.
He's not 3 years old anymore.
Play the Georgia Lottery and help students go to college on the Hope Scholarship. They may not be your kids, but it kind of feels that way.
In Chili Nation, a football rivalry is no match for chili on top of a wiener. But when the chili runs out, so does the magic.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you.
Welcome back. Let's get into some Georgia football and the Dog Report brought to you by Beaver Toyota. Guys, big game this week. I know it's a big game for you.
Well, I mean, it's a big game for me, but really it's a big game more for Georgia than anyone, even Tennessee. Georgia's putting themselves in position to possibly play for a national title. Tennessee needs to put their best foot forward and come out and compete and not get wiped off the map. But this is an opportunity for Tennessee players to see how they measure up, but Georgia clearly is the dominant force in this game.
Win for Tennessee helped Jeremy prove it. Yeah. I mean, it makes everybody forget about the last 3 or 4 games. But at the end of the day, now, UGA, after beating Notre Dame, it seemed like it was like they really didn't beat Notre Dame because Notre Dame, everybody's on Notre Dame bandwagon now because they played Georgia hard. So Georgia has to come out and play a physical game and really beat up on Tennessee.
That's a good point.
Coach Chaney. If Tennessee hangs in, they'll take a moral victory.
That's fair.
I was just thinking about the coaches, the Tennessee coaches that went, played Georgia with Kirby, Chaney, the offensive coordinator. He over there probably snitching like Tekashi 6ix9ine and just telling everything he knows about Georgia. So it's one of those things is that if Tennessee can get themselves mentally prepared in this game, I think they can actually give Georgia a little run for their money. Now, they're going to get stretched in the end because they just don't have enough weaponry. But early on, it's going to be a good game to watch.
I will say, Jeff, I don't know what the odds were on this, but if you had the over on Tekashi 6ix9ine references, you can just cover that. That was good. That was good. So, I mean, I don't think there was a single team.
He said like that was original. He heard that online or something like that. I like him throwing it out there, but you're a hater.
Okay. So getting back to the game, so there's not a team I feel like at the SEC that wanted to get to the bye week more than Tennessee, and maybe not a team that wanted to come out of the bye week more or less than Tennessee. What's it going to take for Tennessee to win the game?
Control the. What'd you say, Jeff?
Machine guns.
No. Yeah. Control the ball. They got to run. Tennessee's got to figure out a way to keep Georgia's offense off the field. They got to run the ball, and then they got to stop the run. So it really has to do with the interior, and that's where Georgia has separated themselves from Tennessee with the interior line. So I mean, to me, that's the only way they're going to get it. And hopefully Georgia, has a few turnovers, and Tennessee benefits from it. But
I think Tennessee have to take chances. I think when there's opportunity, they have good field position. They got to take chances. They got to make plays. They got to make big plays in the passing game and just keep them off guard a little bit.
With which quarterback?
Throw the ball downfield and hope somebody catches it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So that being said, again, let's make us some more money here.
Right.
What's the pick?
Well, this is not a game I would usually play. It's a if you must. So being that I must, I'm going to take the 25 with Tennessee.
Ain't going to happen.
Ooh,
I'm saying it right
you got
now.
Georgia to cover?
Tennessee ain't getting beat by 25.
I said I'm going to take the 25 with Tennessee.
I'm just gonna,
there you go.
Throw this out
I didn't hear you right.
I'm going to throw this out here.
You haven't been listening.
I was listening.
Another fun stat for you, okay?
What?
I threw one out earlier about Mizzou.
Oh, here we go.
Number 1 rushing offense in the SEC is Georgia. Number 11. Number 11 rushing defense in the SEC is Tennessee. So, just something to think about.
I ain't surprised. We ain't won but one game.
Now it's time. Now it's time for the Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest.
This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be number 1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant.
All right, y'all. Next, after the break, it is time to talk Falcons. I don't know how good or bad that's going to be, but what will it take to right the ship? Next on Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by your Georgia Drive Chevy dealers, Chevrolet, find new roads. This is It Barbecue and Atlanta Peach Movers.
At Beaver Toyota, we have a vehicle for everyone. Hundreds of pre-owned and certified Toyotas. Plus, we carry Honda, Nissan, Ford, Chevy, and Kia. We have what you're looking for, even vehicles as low as $59.95. Looking for a new car? No problem. Take a look at our huge selection of Highlanders, Tacomas, and the all-new RAV4. Did I mention all these come with a lifetime warranty and oil changes? At Beaver Toyota, if we don't have it, they don't make it. Come check out the all-new Beaver Toyota coming.
Come in for our limited-time Longhorn Cookout, the 18-ounce fire-grilled outlaw ribeye, Longhorn's new mixed grill, and our full-rack baby back ribs with steakhouse mac and cheese. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they did, they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
With the all-new Silverado HD, Silverado's now the only truck brand that can offer trucks with best-in-class towing, or trucks with best-in-class camera technology, or larger, more functional beds than any competitor. The only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado. Or get a total value of over $9,300 on this Silverado with a larger, more functional bed than any competitor. Or during truck month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
Georgia drives Chevy. Find new roads.
Today's Atlanta Falcons report is being brought to you by your Georgia Drive Chevy dealers, Chevrolet, find new roads.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk some Atlanta Falcons football. Big game this week at Houston, 5-point underdog. What are y'all's thoughts?
You got to keep Watson in the pocket, not let him run all over them.
Yeah, Watson throwing the ball down the field. He only, 16-10 last week the score was. Wasn't much offense that Houston was generating. So I think the Falcons defense, even without Keanu Neal, can do a good job against Houston and contain Watson. And I think the onus is going to be on the Falcons offensive line. They got a lot of injuries. A lot of guys might be moving positions. So what's that line and Matt Ryan's going to do?
I think it comes down to somewhat discipline also. What's going to happen out there? The Falcons going to stop making silly penalties, or the Falcons going to come out there and put their best foot forward, meaning be disciplined, be a professional, you know? And to me, the biggest weakness right now for the Falcons and the biggest matchup problem they got it's going to be J.J. Watt versus the Atlanta Falcons offensive line. I mean, it's going to be Whitney Merciless versus the Atlanta Falcons offensive line.
Yeah.
And this is, to me, I don't have a good feeling about this game. I really don't. And
How bad is that feeling?
Bad as hell.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's really bad for me to say hell.
Well, both teams have a lot of firepower, and I think that the team that doesn't give up the big plays have an opportunity to win this football game. But at the end of the day, if I was the Falcons' defensive line, as much as Watson been hit in the backfield, I'll be excited about this one.
Yeah, I mean, and you say the firepower thing. Both teams have a lot of firepower. They've just been so inconsistent. Both teams have.
The Falcons got firepower on the pass rush, but anyway.
Jeffrey, make us some money, man.
I was talking about offensive firepower.
Houston's offense had a bad game last week against Carolina. The best cure is coming this week. The Atlanta defense. Give the 5 with Houston.
Okay, that's fair.
See, we got that same feeling.
Yeah.
We have got that same feeling.
I'm pretty sure I still have them on my fantasy team, so that's a whole other issue. So anyway, when we come back, Dr. El-Amin checks in with his player injury report, so stay with us.
With the all-new Silverado HD, Silverado's now the only truck brand that can offer trucks with best-in-class towing, or trucks with best-in-class camera technology, or larger, more functional beds than any competitor. The only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado. Or get a total value of over $9,300 on this Silverado with a larger, more functional bed than any competitor. Or during Truck Month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
Georgia drives Chevy. Find new roads.
This is it. Southern Kitchen fried chicken, delicious to the bone. Only at This Is It Barbecue and Seafood. Order online at thisisitbbq.com. Delivery now available. We cater to you.
Is there any kids around here? Good, because I'm not sharing.
Finally, some math you're really going to like. Xfinity Internet and Mobile, each for $30 a month. That equals awesome Wi-Fi from America's best internet provider and the best LTE on the go. It's the ultimate coverage solution. It's all in the numbers. With Xfinity Mobile, you'll save up to $800 a year on your wireless bill. You can even get $250 back. Don't miss out on Xfinity Internet and Mobile, each for $30 a month. Plus, save up to $800 a year on your wireless bill with Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity makes saving simple, easy, awesome. Click, call, or visit a store today.
There they are. Honey, you look so collegey.
Are we cool enough to hang out with you guys on Parents' Weekend?
What? Do we know you?
That's so Claire.
It's Kelly.
Oh, hey, who's up for a game of hacky sack?
Oh, or cornhole.
Hey, who's excited to see the old man?
What is happening?
Where do we get those proud parent bumper stickers?
Play the Georgia Lottery and help students go to college on the Hope Scholarship. They may not be your kids, but it kind of feels that way.
Young lady?
Sweetheart?
Today's player, medical, and injury report is being brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
Welcome back to the Dr. E Medical Report. I'm excited.
That's right. We got a lot to talk about. Let's start talking about Cam Newton.
Get into
As
it.
you know, we finally got this injury report from him. He has a Liz Frank injury. Now, a lot of people ask what that is.
Yeah, I was going to be one of them.
Well, what that is people don't know the history of that injury comes back through the Revolutionary War with the French.
Okay.
The Napoleon doctor, Liz Frank, used to treat these soldiers who would fall off the horse and have these stirrup issues. And what happened was, in order to get them back, they had to amputate their foot. So this is a very serious injury.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound good for the French or for Cam Newton. I'll be honest.
It
Yeah,
doesn't. We're not gonna amputate Cam's foot.
Okay, that's good.
But it does show you how severe this injury is
Right.
and why he's not playing well and why he can't push off.
That's fair
It's
enough.
really affects
Okay,
him.
well, that's good to know. There's a few others we need to talk about as well.
right, exactly.
Let's start with another quarterback, Mitch Trubisky
That's
from
right. He
Chicago.
dislocated his shoulder, and now he's basically got some issues. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, may need surgery.
Okay. And also, we have the defensive end from Denver.
That's right.
Bradley Chubb. Now, this one seems a little bit more definitive, more
Right.
season-ending.
ACL injury. He's out. He's gone for the season. Hopefully, see him back next year.
And then last but not least, now this is important for me, Dr. E, because this is on my fantasy team. John Ross, the
That's
receiver
right.
from Cincinnati. What do we
He's got
got?
a shoulder injury, so we don't know the severity of it yet, but you know he had a shoulder injury before he came into the league, right after the combine. So it's going to be interesting. So he'll definitely be out this week, maybe longer.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it right there. Now, listen, afterwards, we got to figure out. I got a little carpal tunnel situation firing off all these fire tweets I got over here. When we come back, we'll have Jeffrey's picks in the lightning round. Stay with us.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
Oh, I'm glad you found it.
Oh, we were just happy to get some time away.
You're the first couple to try our new bed and breakfast bundle. It's bed and breakfast in the same room. You wake up to the smell of coffee and bacon, made by a private chef, right there.
So we're sleeping in the kitchen.
Well, I'm sure you'll write it better than that for the review.
Stuck in a bad bundle? Get a great one. Bundle AT&T Fiber and DirecTV and get a $100 reward card. Limited availability may not be in your area. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
On or off the field, we all have rules to play by. But what happens after a serious car crash? When the insurance company won't play fair? At Montlick & Associates, we know injury law, and we know what it takes to win. After all, we've been winning in our field for over 35 years. If you've been injured, we're here to help. Simply dial #WIN from your cell phone for your free consultation. That's #946.
Today's lightning round is being brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Come in today.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Moe's lightning round. Jeffrey, let's get into some picks.
Tulane is undefeated, believe it or not. Well, they won't be this afternoon after Army shoves the ball down their throat. Take the Cadets at home with the 3 points. TCU has too much speed for Iowa State. Take the Horned Frogs with 4 points. I don't like laying 20 points, but I think Ohio State's going to clobber Michigan State. Give the 20.5. Minshew's the new savior for Jacksonville. They're playing better. Their defense is good. And I think they'll cover 3.5 points against Carolina. I'm still stubborn. I think Minnesota's the best team in the NFC. Give the 5 with Minnesota. And San Francisco's playing great ball. They're 3-0. And I think they'll cover 3.5 at home against a tough Cleveland team.
I love it. I'm going to throw one more out there. A piggyback off that Ohio State pick. The first half line, 9.5. They're outscoring opponents by 31 points on average the first half. So, fun fact. Guys, any final thoughts?
Well, I definitely got one.
What?
Of the guys that's here, my school's probably the only one that wins this week.
No. We play San Jose State.
Y'all might lose that game.
No, we won't lose that one.
You know what you play. You got, yeah, exactly.
Who's Stanford playing?
You got a tough one.
Oh, I think they're playing Washington. I think it's Washington. One to Washington.
Oh, they're going to win. They're going to beat Washington.
What?
I mean, I have no comment on that.
Meanwhile, Easton's playing great.
Let me see.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll say my alma mater, Georgia College, go Bobcats. We don't have a football team, but we can't lose. We can't lose. That's all I'm saying. Y'all, thank you again. I'm Chris Marler. Tune in next week when Nikki Williams will be back. Good news. Good news for everybody. I appreciate it. It's a fantastic.
Jeff, you got to get up out of here, man. You've been cold on this set, man.
It's fair. Just, honestly, we had to hit makeup up.
You did a great job.
I appreciate it.
Great job.
We got to get this shine off. But tune in next week and always on Saturday mornings for Play to Win.
Today's show has been brought to you by Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you. Montlick & Associates. Our attorneys know what it takes to win. And Xfinity.